I have made my clients well over $80 million in ecom sales over the last few years. What do all the top students have in common? What do the people who fail have in common? All of these things I was able to notice, and in this video I'm going to reveal everything what I've learned over the years. At this point I can tell in a matter of just a few weeks if somebody is actually going to make a lot of money or is most likely going to fail after joining my program. Basically, whenever I set up a call with somebody, I tell them what to do, very clear to-dos until our next call, and then in the next call, if I see that they didn't do it, most of the times these people are just gonna fail. Like, if you cannot follow clear instructions of a very proven strategy that obviously does work, this is already a big red flag for me. And I already know, okay, the guy is at his peak motivation. He just joined the program. He should be super hyped to actually execute on the strategy. They don't do that. So that's them at the peak. Most likely they're gonna fall off in the long run. And this is unfortunately what happens a lot of the time. I can just do so much. I can hold you accountable for everything you do. I can try to make you improve. I can yell at you for not doing the things, but more than that, I can't. I cannot sit next to you and tell you, okay, be on your laptop, don't check your phone, don't start scrolling, keep filming. I'm not gonna sit next to you and make sure that you never get distracted, okay? I can give you all the tricks and tips, but that's it. And besides that, if I actually have a person who is doing exactly what I tell them, and basically we have a call, they do exactly what I told them until next call, that's already a really good sign. And here I would say that the main thing is that that person knows what to focus on. If you are super productive, but you focus on the wrong things, you were not productive. If you are hyper productive at a shitty strategy, you're not productive because the outcome is going to be bad. If you test 100 products with a bad strategy, no productivity was done. Even though you got a lot of shit done, in reality, you didn't get any output from that, which means that you weren't productive at all. A prerequisite for productivity is good strategy and also focus in that strategy, because in every strategy, there are more important things and less important things. And if you keep focusing on only the most important things, you're going to make money eventually. This is literally as simple as it is. But the question is, what is the most important? And that's pretty difficult to figure out by yourself if you have no idea what is relevant and what's not. Honestly, if I would only have one client and I could force any character trait on them, the main one would just be let them focus on the right thing. Only that is going to be in place. The rest is just going to magically start working. Guess what? If you keep working on the right things, you're going to make money eventually. This is a given. This is a fact. Now make sure that that focus doesn't go into making a perfect store, making a brand before you have a single sale, making an amazing logo, finding the best possible supplier. All of these things are not money-making activities in the beginning. In the very beginning, you just need to find a good product and then learn how to advertise that product. Either with an organic strategy or paid ads, whatever you're going to do, you need to make sure those two components must be your priority, always. Now, the next thing I noticed from working with so many people, shiny object syndrome is a big problem. Every time you start seeing the next big thing and just switch strategies and do something else, you are most likely about to fail. Shiny object syndrome is a really big issue because when you do paid ads, you look at organic and you're like, damn, 50% margins, 80% margins, crazy. This is so good. I should probably do this. And then when you're in organic, fuck, I have to keep filming videos. Even though I'm making money, I cannot get out of the business. And with ads, it's just going to be passive. I'm just going to throw up some ads and basically it's going to work forever. And whatever you do, the grass is always greener on the other side. Always. Just make sure you catch yourself making these assumptions. If you're on the right side, the grass is greener where you are. So keep that in mind, especially because growth is very exponential. You're going to keep working on a strategy and it's not going to work. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter how good it is. In the beginning, you're going to fail. You're going to do the strategy for a few months and you're not going to see any rewards from that. And then you will want to quit and you're going to think the grass is greener somewhere else. But in reality, the growth is exponential. It's going to go like this, and then all of a sudden just goes up. It's not like a straight line where it's basically you make no money, then a little bit money, then a little bit more money, and then gradually you work your way up to like 10K. No. It's not going to work like that. You're going to make zero until you start making ridiculous amounts of money. And this is how it goes for most of the guys. If you look at the case studies on the channel, everybody's going to say the same thing. Nothing worked, all of a sudden everything starts working. And this is how it is. Just keep that in mind. And now this leads me to the next point, which is ecom is hard. Get the idea of you becoming rich really fast sense out of your head. It's not gonna happen. If your goal is to become a millionaire, it's gonna take years. It is what it is. Don't listen to anyone else. You're not gonna become a millionaire overnight. Most likely, you're not gonna become a millionaire in your first year. That's almost a given. Just get that idea out of your head and move on. Even to me personally, it took years until I actually had $1 million in net profit in my bank account. Think about that. That's a lot of money, especially if you consider 50% taxes, which we have over here in Germany. It just takes a while until you get there. So make sure the expectation is right, because that's also, I noticed from working with so many people, you go to college and you think, all right, in the next 5 years, I'm not going to make money. Obviously, I'm just learning over here, and later on, I'm going to get a kind of shitty job, and hopefully I'm going to make 6 figures a year. With ecom, everybody thinks month 3, they're already 6 figures a month. Of course, obviously, that's what people show, right? This is, again, the wrong expectation. You expect to just skip the learning phase and right away just get to earn a shit ton of money without learning the skill first. Get that idea out of your head, please. The expectation should be, let me work on ecom for a long time and learn the skills of how to actually make money, and then that skill is going to provide for me and my family, and it's actually going to start making me money on a very consistent basis later on. Make sure you understand there's a lot of work which is going to be unpaid first, and then you're going to make all the money back. See, I think that most people don't understand how averages work. If you don't make money for 3 months and then at month 4 you make 30k, this means that on average you made 7k per month in these 4 months. But everybody thinks, all right, I didn't make anything and then this month I made 40k. No, the learning phase, you just get paid a little bit later. You will get paid eventually if you keep going, and if you stop, you're never going to get paid for anything. This is why you need to make sure that you pick a good strategy and then stick to it. A big learning is, if you have a bad strategy and you're a guy who's actually dedicated, you're fucked. Think about this. You're in the wrong boat. Let's say you're doing TikTok ads dropshipping. And with TikTok, you basically test a product that doesn't work. You keep testing product after product after product. And the way you pick products is with, let's say, 5 criteria. You test 50 products. One of them picked up a little bit for a few days, but it never ended up working on a consistent basis. Well, maybe the criteria you are using for what a winning product is just wrong. This would literally mean that all of the testing was wasted and you need to reconsider your whole strategy and start from scratch. But maybe you just got unlucky, or the criteria are the right ones, but something else is wrong. And honestly, if you're doing things by yourself or with the wrong mentor, you're never gonna actually know what the real problem is, because you do things, it doesn't work. And there's so many different components that it's impossible to identify what the actual issue is. Because here's one more secret nobody ever talks about. Ecom involves luck. Luck is involved in the ecom process. Let me explain. You test a product with no matter what strategy, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, organic. Let's say you test a perfect product, a perfect video you create, and you post it on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere, and it just doesn't go viral. And you keep doing that and it doesn't go viral. This happens. Perfect content not always goes viral. This is something which you keep in mind. However, if you keep posting really good content, you're gonna go viral eventually no matter what. If you have a perfect set of criteria of what a winning product is on Facebook ads, your creatives are really on point, you know exactly what you're doing with your ad strategy. You can test a product and just have a bad Facebook account, and it's never gonna work on that account. You just change up the account and all of a sudden it works. Or it just takes 5 or 10 products until the Facebook account is warmed up, for example. Stuff like that happens. This means that on a smaller time frame, ecom involves luck. Whatever you do, if you just do it once, you can get lucky and you can get unlucky. If you do things right and you get unlucky and then you think you did things wrong and you change up the strategy, you're fucked. Because you did everything right, you just should have kept going and then it would have worked, but you changed strategies. However, if you think you have the right strategy and you keep just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again without having any success, and the strategy actually sucks and the things you're doing are wrong, you're fucked as well, even more. Because there, you keep telling yourself, all right, ecom has a luck factor, I just have to keep going, I just have to keep going, I just have to keep going. But then you burn through a shit ton of money and then you never make proper profits. This is reality. This is what happens with a lot of people. They're literally addicted. They think the next product is going to be a winner. They're literally like gamblers, just throwing in the next campaign because they think I'm the guy who's never going to quit. But you should quit if you have a bad strategy. This is why you need to pick very, very carefully who you work with, who you trust, who you listen to. And honestly, I can tell you, if you want to make 10K profit per month on a very consistent basis, organic is by far the best way to go. I'm telling you that right now, not because we have an organic program. No, it's the other way around. We had a Facebook program which was doing really well, but then we saw something which is much better, which is organic dropshipping. That's what we focused on because it's the best strategy. I'm in a very fortunate position where I have connections to a lot of dropshippers. I see who is successful, who's not, who's making a lot of money, who's not making a lot of money. I see who's consistent, I see who's not consistent. And I just saw that organic dropshippers generally make the most amount of consistent profit per month on a long-term basis. With ads, the barrier to entry is just so much higher and it's so much more difficult to actually start making profits on a yearly basis, including all the failed tests on which you burned like thousands and thousands of dollars per test. So this is why we are doing the strategy like we do it. And I think we proved well enough that this is the way to go. Because the case studies we have, like Mikey again, for example, that's just something which makes it very, very clear. We took a guy who was actually trying and didn't make things work, and we got him to make a bunch of money because we picked the right strategy and we did it the right way. Now ask yourself, why did nobody try to help Mikey? Well, he had a journey channel, huge platform. Whoever is going to make him successful, he's going to show it publicly. And whoever is going to fail making him successful, he's also going to make it public. So if everyone's so confident in their strategy, why didn't they just help the guy? Like, why? What's the issue with that, right? Well, here's the secret. It's because most of the guys in the industry don't get results on demand. They just get 100 clients, one of them succeeds, and that's the guy they show. And that's not how you can just pick a guy and make him successful. That's not how it works if you have a strategy like that. But what we did is everyone who actually truly puts in the work is going to get the results. It's as simple as that. And that's why I was the only one who just took advantage of that and basically made a guy successful who's going to document it. We did the same thing with the next guy, Costify. We did the same exact thing like 4 times or so. And at this point, it's undeniable that the strategy itself works. The only component which could fuck it up is you. A bad student is never going to make it work anyways. Okay, so if you are not going to execute on a strategy, it's not going to work. I have to tell you, we don't have the magic pill. We have the magic pill for people who are actually action takers. Because what we can guarantee is that if you actually put in the work, you're going to find a lot of success. And if you don't, you're not. That's the only thing we can guarantee, but that is more than enough if you can truly execute on it. Why this works is just because we're going to constantly look over the things you do, and we will tell you if you're just getting unlucky and that's why the first couple of videos didn't work, or if you're doing a mistake and you have to change something. When you keep changing things, even though there's no mistake, you're going to be screwed. So that's why we need to make sure that you only change things which actually are bad. And to us, it's very easy to identify that because we're working with so many people, we just know what's good and what's bad. If you're interested in joining, click the link below, sign up for a call. We see if it's a good fit. If yes, then yes. If no, then no.